So according to this series, Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez are all true crime fans. One of us. One of us. Hey everyone, this is David Stark from Watch or Pass. I'm going to talk to you about Only Murders in the Building, which is streaming on Hulu on August 31st, 2021. It's a 10 episode TV series that kind of has really good comedy, good true crime, and some really good actors. So, it's funny, it's interesting. I'm going to go into a little bit about the series, but not much because, I've been asked not to reveal any spoilers, so I'm going to honor that. And then I'm going to go into four things I liked, three things I didn't love as much, and this kind of conclude. So, Only Murders in the Building is a new comedy true crime series that involves three very different individuals that live in this swanky kind of New York apartment building, along with a lot of other people. But the three main characters are Charles, played by Steve Martin, Oliver, played by Martin Short, and Mabel, played by Selena Gomez. So they all play very different characters. Steve Martin plays kind of a washed up actor. He had a great series in the past, but it hasn't really gotten many roles since. Martin Short is kind of a washed up director. He had some, good hits in the past, but nothing recently. And then Selena Gomez is Mabel, who is kind of this X factor. She's in the building in this kind of apartment that's not really, it appears to be, kind of run down. At least it looks like it's going through renovations. But we don't really know much about her past other than she is just in this building and is pretty quiet and also a true crime fan. So from this strange setup, you get some very fun interactions, and eventually what happens in the first episode is someone in the building gets murdered. And so these three very different individuals who all have an interest in true crime, we find out, decide to start investigating the case and trying to see if they can solve it. Oh, and by the way, while they're doing this, they're creating a podcast. And I love the podcast angle because that, it feels relevant to anyone that listens to true crime podcasts. There's a lot of us, a lot of people like a lot of true crime. So I liked that angle as well. And then also it kind of fits with the overall style of or it fits with the overall story in the series. So the first thing I love, and you can kind of tell us already, is I love the leads. um they're very funny, they're very different, and how they go about the investigation and how they go about trying to solve this, it's a lot of fun to watch, and they're very different. They have very different approaches and very different skills, and so it's fun to see their interactions and their conflicts, and kind of as they learn new information, what connections they draw and what people remember specific things. And overall they're also quite funny. So it's this nice combination of humor and true crime and quirky characters that are all kind of brought to life by the three main characters. And Steve Martin and Martin Short are kind of legends, so you expect them to be good. But I was very impressed with Selena Gomez as well, who she is by her, she's a great actor already, but I hadn't seen a ton of her. But I really liked her character in this. She's a little tough to kind of crack at the start, but as the series goes on, you learn more about her and you get to see some more depth from her. The second thing I love are the cameos, and because I'm not going to reveal spoilers, and I checked the IMDb page. I didn't see any of these people on the IMDb page, so I'm not going to reveal them. But there are some really fun cameos, some really wonderful, well-known actors that you know and love who make appearances in this series, and seeing them was a lot of fun. You come for kind of Martin Short, Steve Martin, and Selena Gomez, but then you kind of stay for some of these other characters that you meet, either whether they're residents in the building or other people that are going to help out in the investigation. You get to meet a lot of very fun people that but it's fun to see them in these roles. The third thing I really liked is the true crime aspect. I mean, it's a series about true crime. It's kind of like, it's a long form Murder She Wrote with more humor, and I really liked that. I liked the true crime aspect. I liked that they were kind of investigating and using elements of true crime podcasts and true crime in general to try to come to conclusions and try to see if they can solve this mystery. And I'm a true crime fan, and I imagine if you're watching this series, you're either going to be a comedy or a true crime fan. But if you're a true crime fan, you will like aspects of this. And the last thing I love is the story, and especially kind of the cliffhangers. Like, the first episode actually didn't grab me, but kind of as I kept watching, there were more elements that were introduced, more aspects of these character stories that were introduced, and kind of in perfect podcast type fashion, and also TV series. But I liked the idea of the TV series mapping onto a podcast. Each episode kind of introduces some more information and then ends with kind of a cliffhanger, which if it fits so perfectly because I know TV shows do this all the time, but so do podcasts. It makes you want to like listen more. Sometimes I'll wait for multiple episodes to be out so I can then listen to all of them and not have to have that week-long wait or 2-week long wait. And Only Murders in the Building does the same thing. It has that similar feel to it. Things I didn't like. I already mentioned I didn't really love the first episode, and I think that might partly be because it did feel like in the first episode, it felt like Steve Martin and Martin Short were trying a little bit too hard. Maybe they were just, maybe I just wasn't used to their characters, and so it kind of felt like they were being a little bit more outspoken or vibrant or boisterous. But I didn't love them initially. It felt like they were trying a little bit too hard. Now, as the series went on, the characters grew on me. And so, toward by the end of what I was able to watch, I haven't seen the whole thing yet because it's not released. But by the end, I really did enjoy their characters. So maybe this is just a general, encouragement to you. If you find you don't love the first episode, stay around for the second one. See if that catches your interest because I did, and I really liked it. The second thing I didn't love, but this kind of fits in with the comedy aspects of the series, is that I think it needed a little bit more true crime expertise from this group. Now I know that the idea is that they are starting their true crime podcast. I think they're supposed to be a little bit bumbling, but there's some things that happen that feels like anyone who listens to true crime is really kind of immersed in it should know, should have figured out. Again, it's very minor because there is enough true crime elements in here and enough kind of comedy mapped onto the true crime elements that it becomes very entertaining and has a solid base. But there were a few things at the start that felt like, oh, if they were really big true crime fans, as they say they are, they would know not to do that, or they would know to do something differently. And the last thing, which again is kind of related, is there were some pretty poor decisions, especially at the start, from a true crime perspective. And again, this kind of goes into, they should have known better in some of the choices that they made, whether it would do things to the crime scene or do things to the evidence, things like that. So again, it's a comedy. They're kind of supposed to be a little bumbling, so I'll accept that. I'll take it with a grain of salt. It wasn't a big criticism, and and overall, I did like the series. So these are all kind of minor points to make, but it was something that kind of felt a little off. But that being said, Only Murders in the Building is very entertaining. It's very bingeable because of the format and the fact that there are cliffhangers at the end. So it's something that you kind of can start and it'll get your hooks into you, and you'll definitely enjoy it. Well, you'll probably enjoy it. I enjoyed it. And so that's Only Murders in the Building. It's coming to Hulu on August 31st, 2021. And you can check it out then. If you like this review, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps me out a lot. Make sure all my new content goes straight to you. And don't forget to watch the next review because it's something very amazing will happen, but you have to watch it to find out. Thanks so much.